What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are going to be talking about the 4 biggest obstacles in the path of the Memphis Grizzlies' road to the 2023 NBA championship. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
KeyAno.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demarest back in, let's go.
We are closing in on 2 weeks to go until NBA training camps open. And you're about to see a lot of media start to drop their season previews for the 2022-23 NBA season. And you're going to have the Grizzlies anywhere from probably about 5 to 10 in the NBA as far as the initial power rankings go. The Grizzlies were second last year, of course. They ended up losing to the eventual NBA champions. So to me, in my Grizzly homer mind, the Grizzlies were the second best team in the league last year, and there's no other way anybody can prove it because I have the facts of them having the second best record, and they only lost in the playoffs to the best team in the league. So those are my facts, and that's how I'll use them. But seriously, this season, the Grizzlies still have enough to win the NBA title. I know a lot of people are disappointed with what the Grizzlies did this offseason, thinking that they should have made some big addition or at the very least kept Kyle Anderson. I've expressed my feelings on that. But the fact remains, the Grizzlies have enough to win an NBA championship. They have a top 5 to 10 player in Ja Morant. They have an elite defensive player in Jaren Jackson. They have a top second banana in Desmond Bane, and they have a proven supporting cast that got battle scars in the playoffs the last year and even the year before. And this year, they should have a healthy Dillon Brooks. So, when I look over the landscape of the league, there are a few things that I find that are that present an obstacle for the Grizzlies. And you saw it a little bit in last year's playoffs, but I think it could rear its ugly head in this year's playoffs. But I don't think it's a serious roadblock to the Grizzlies winning a title. And I know I'm going to be probably one of the very few people in the media talking about the Grizzlies winning a title. I'm just a fan. I'm not no real media member. I'm just a fan. I'm the homer. So, of course, the Grizzlies have what it takes for me to win a title. So who are the teams that are the obstacles? Of course, we have the world champs, the Golden State Warriors. They are the dynasty of the decade. So, of course, they present a problem. And they have the elements that these other 3 teams have that also present the problem. You also have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who gave the Grizzlies a run for their money in last season's playoffs and added an all-NBA level player to their roster. You have the Boston Celtics, who in my mind were the best team in the league last year up until Jason Tatum ran out of gas. And you have the Milwaukee Bucks, who have the best player in the league in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, what do these 4 teams have in common that almost no other team has in the NBA that presents a problem for the Memphis Grizzlies? Well, one, they have an elite perimeter defender. Now, I know you're going to look and you see the Golden State Warriors with Andrew Wiggins. You see the Boston Celtics with the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. And you see the Milwaukee Bucks with Jrue Holiday. And you're saying, well, X, who the hell is the elite perimeter defender on the Minnesota Timberwolves? Well, as a Grizzlies fans, we know who that is. We saw it in action in the playoffs. It is their young, precocious wing scorer, Anthony Edwards. His athleticism and lateral quickness and the Minnesota Timberwolves strategy gave Ja Morant some issues in the playoffs. Now, I don't know if that was just because Ja Morant was coming off an injury coming into the playoffs, but even the most homerish Grizzly fan has to admit that it slowed him down a little bit. And the other element is an elite interior defender to back them up. So with Minnesota, they now have Rudy Gobert behind Anthony Edwards. The Warriors, of course, have Draymond Green and Looney. The Milwaukee Bucks, of course, have Giannis. And the Boston Celtics have Robert Williams. And the thing about these four teams is they have enough offensive firepower to give the Grizzlies defense some problems. Now, I don't know how this season's going to shape up. Of course, we don't know how Jaren Jackson's going to come into the season or how he's going to finish the season. But what we do know is that these four teams will present formidable problems for the Grizzlies. Now, the most likely thing is they'll only have to face one of these teams on their road to the NBA Finals. At most, two of these teams. Worst case scenario, three of them. Well, that's not really a worst case scenario. If they face three of these teams in the NBA playoffs, that means they made the finals. And that is a good result. So let me know, what do you think about my thinking that these four teams present the most problems for the Grizzlies? And who do you think presents, what other team do you think presents the most problem for the Grizzlies going forward in their quest to win the 2023 NBA championship? Let me know in the comments section. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow as we finish off our player previews. Peace.